guys, welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're making a baked blueberry croissant French toast. That is an absolute mouthful to say, but nonetheless, this is a super simple recipe. You can prep all this the night before, the day before, and just have it sit in your fridge, letting it marinate, and then the day of cook it, or you can do it all in the same day. By all means, it's gonna be great, but I'm gonna elevate the recipe just a little bit. I'm gonna make my own homemade blueberry jam. Why not try to elevate it? And this is the one thing that I could elevate. I feel like in this recipe, everything else is pretty simple. But nonetheless, let me stop talking. I'm hungry. I have not eaten this morning, so this is my breakfast. Like always, guys, don't worry about writing anything down. Everything will be in the description below. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show, and let's get cooking. So getting started on our blueberries. It's a super simple blueberry jam recipe. 3 ingredients: sugar, blueberries, lemon juice. These are frozen blueberries, but you can use fresh by all means. And it's super simple to do. So we're just gonna place this in a pan and just let it cook for 20 to 30 minutes. But after this is done, everything else is downhill. So let's get started on this. We got our pan heated up. Take these blueberries and we're just gonna dump those in there. Okay, super simple. Get everything out. Just grab the little bit of the lemon juice and pour it in there. And like always, guys, don't worry about anything down. So we got our lemon juice and our blueberries in the pot, and we're just gonna wait for this to release its juices. Once that does, we're gonna start to break it up just a little bit, add the sugar, and everything else is downhill after that. So I'm cooking these blueberries over low heat just to release their juices. And then once that happens, then we're going to add the sugar and mash it up just a little bit. But this does take time, so be patient. Do not rush this step. Just let it vibe out, let it do its thing. All right, so these blueberries have released their juices now. We want to add one thing to it. We're going to add sugar. This is how much sugar we're using. It's jam. Now it's going to be sweet. So I add all that sugar to it. And then you want to turn the heat up to about medium heat and then just let this cook now. So this is going to cook for about 20 minutes. Just keep on watching it. Honestly, this is my first time cooking jam, so I'm learning with y'all. But just mix this up. Mash it up as you go, and then once it gets to that thick consistency, you'll know it's done. You know what jam looks like. And then I'll show y'all too, so don't worry about it. But it's already starting to get thick, and it's gonna boil. If it does boil, just turn the heat down, but keep a steady eye on it so it doesn't scorch, because then it'll get bitter. Nobody likes bitter jam. It's already starting to get thick. Y'all see that? In a little bit, I'm gonna bring out my masher just to mash some of the berries up, so it's not super clumpy. So this is the masher I'm gonna be using just to mash everything up, break up the blueberries. And if you have an immersion blender, you can use that as well. I don't feel like pulling that out and plugging that in, and then I feel like those are really hard to clean too. But just do that. As they soften, it'll get a lot easier to break down. And just cook this over 20 minutes, you'll see it. And for this blueberry jam, you see I'm constantly stirring it just because it's starting to boil and I just don't want it to scorch. It never hurts just to stand by it and just keep looking at it. And play with the heat. If it starts to boil too much, turn the heat down. But just keep a steady eye on it. Okay. So the jam is done. It's a little loose right now, but that's just because it's still hot. Once it cools, it's gonna thicken a lot. To test to see if your blueberry jam is done or your strawberry jam, whatever jam that you're making is done, put a plate in the freezer, as you can see I already did, so it's cold, and then just take a little bit of the blueberries and just set that on top of it, and then it'll like thicken up over time, and that's how you know it's done. That one has set pretty well, but this one will set. But go ahead, take this off the heat, and we can get started on our French toast. Starting on our egg custard. I think this is the best part of the French toast, easily, is the egg custard. We're gonna need 6 eggs. So you're gonna crack those and just place that right in the bowl. It's like almost like a 1 bowl recipe, honestly. And crack them all in there. And like I said, guys, this could be done the night before and just let it sit and marinate in the fridge. After we do this and put the bread in it, we're gonna let this marinate in the fridge anyway for about 30 minutes. Just so all those flavors can really soak into the bread. But get that in the bowl. And then at this point, just break those eggs up and beat those. Beat them up. Okay, now that you got all that beaten, we're gonna add the last few things. We're going to add a little bit of whole milk, about a tablespoon of vanilla extract. This is all I got left in here. Add all that. A couple dashes of cinnamon, maybe like a half teaspoon. Maple syrup. And then last but not least, just a pinch of salt to bring out some flavor. And then you just mix this up. And this is your custard. Super simple. That took less than 3 minutes to make. Mix all that up. And then we can set that to the side right now. And we can bring back our croissants. So as you can see, these expired, what day did they expire? July 28th. Today is the 29th. So they can be day old, they can be fresh, but these were also on sale. I saw that they expired in the store and I was like, let me get a discount. So I got them for $1. Can't beat that. So that's what we're making. It's gonna be amazing. Okay, so we're gonna take our croissants and we're just gonna simply rip it up. No rhyme or reason to it. Rip it up, toss it in there. Let's take this whisk out. And then do that with all your croissants. Rip them up to how many pieces you like and just add it to the bake. I love croissants. Croissants have to be the best bread out there. Like, it's easily croissants. Then you have brioche bread. But croissants, the butteriness, the flakiness, it's just so much flavor. I made croissants one time. That was a grueling process, but it was really worth it too. They were really, really pretty. Add all that to it. Maybe you should have got a bigger bowl. Okay, and now, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but we're just going to mix it up. I guess I'm getting there with my hands. Make sure your hands are clean, like I always say. If your hands are dirty, please do not cook with your hands. But my hands are clean, I wash them a lot. And just toss them. Be gentle with it. You don't want to tear it up. Probably should have put gloves on, but that was too much work for me right at the moment. And just toss it up. Get everything soaked. And what's really good, since these are a day old, this custard's going to rehydrate it. Get it all nice and soft again. So they won't even taste stale, honestly. So set this to the side and we'll get our baking dish ready. So for our baking dish, it is a 9x13 baking dish, and you should grab you a stick of butter. This butter has already been used before. And we're gonna butter the pan up. Butter and croissants, it does not get better than that. So take that butter and then just spread it across the pan. I wish y'all could see this, but add it up, get every crook, cranny. And this is just gonna ensure nothing sticks, but also add a little bit of flavor to that bottom layer. Okay, bam, beautiful. All right, now we take our croissants and we're just gonna do half of it. And we're gonna layer it right in the pan. Again, guys, there's no rhyme or reason. Tap into your creative bag, make it you. Easy, easy money. And it's gonna be so flavorful. This is really, honestly, a very impressive dish. When I had it at a restaurant, I was not really gonna think it was gonna be all that, but boy, was I wrong. Okay, we could probably add one more piece or two. So we can see, we get a nice bottom layer on it. And now what we're gonna do, we're gonna add two things to it. One, we're going to add cream cheese. This has been cream cheese that's been cut up into small cubes. And also we're gonna bring back our jam. Looks beautiful. It's a little looser than I wanted to, but I think this will honestly play a little bit better to it. But we're gonna add that to it as well. So take the cream cheese and just place that randomly across it. And when this bakes, I'm telling y'all just have no idea yet. It's gonna be nice layers between it, some on top, but don't be shy. More the better. It's gonna look beautiful too when it comes out. This breakfast has to be the best meal of the day. Maybe it's because it's 10 o'clock and I'm starving, but this is easily one of my favorite things to do. Bring back that jam and do the same thing. Just place that where you see fit. And I like the little blueberry chunks too. I think that's gonna be nice and perfect. I was gonna use the immersion blender at first, but I was like, no, it looks really beautiful. I like the color of it too. You can use this for so many different applications. Now we just add the rest of our French toast to the top of it. Now, this is I think my second French toast recipe on the video. Y'all see, I really like it. I had the strawberry cheesecake French toast. If y'all have not seen that video, please go watch that video after this one, because that was truly an amazing recipe. I make that all the time still to this day. A staple. I love French toast. There's so many different variations that you can do with it. This one It's my first time doing this variation though. Okay, now just add the remaining of your cream cheese and the cracks and the crevice. Get your hands dirty, don't be afraid. I see a lot of people cooking with gloves on nowadays. By all means, there's nothing wrong with that. But I just feel like the love I get with my bare hands, that sounds nasty to say, but I just think it turns out just a little bit better. But there's always a time and place for gloves. I'm not saying I don't use the gloves because I definitely do. But nonetheless, you get the point. Okay, now we got that. Let's bring back our jam and just dollop the rest of it. This is gonna be beautiful. I can already see it coming out. And I got a little bit of fresh blueberries just to garnish with it too. Now this is what we're looking like right now. It's nice, it's beautiful. Got the blueberries, the cream cheese. Okay, and then take the rest of that egg mixture, there's not much left, and then just pour it over the top of it. It's okay if the cream cheese and blueberry jam doesn't get covered, but just add it all over it. Okay, bam, beautiful. Now we're gonna add just some plastic wrap to this, and we're gonna let this sit in the refrigerator for 30 minutes, just so all those things can marinate, come together. And then we're gonna bake it at 375. So while that's in the refrigerator chilling, just preheat your oven to 375, and then we'll get cooking. So I will see you guys in a second. Okay, so this has been sitting in the refrigerator for about 30, 45 minutes, letting all that custard soak in. Preheat your oven to 375 too, remember. And now it just looks beautiful at this point. It's been sitting in the refrigerator for about 30, 45 minutes. While that's happening, remember, just preheat your oven to 375. We're gonna add one more thing to it. And now this is just salted butter. I cubed this up as well, and we're just gonna add it to the top of it. Just to add just a little bit more flavor. I don't know if I'm gonna do 2 or 4. I'll do 3, and then 2. And this is only a stick of butter too, so we're gonna place this in the oven for about 40 to 45 minutes. Once everything is cooked through. And then too, if the top starts to brown too quick, just cover it with foil and it'll be all good. But I will see you in a jiffy. Okay, now let's look at our masterpiece. I don't know if I can see that, but sheesh, it looks beautiful. First thing we're gonna add is, like I said, a couple fresh blueberries. Just get it some nice contrast. It's like these blueberries have cooked down quite a bit. Oh, this is gonna be good. It smells delicious. My house smells amazing. Okay. Then the last thing is just some powdered sugar. You can't have French toast without powdered sugar. If anybody tries to tell you different, then they're wrong. A nice dusting of that. Just beautiful. Wow. Sorry, mom and dad, if y'all heard that. Let's scoot this to the side. Where's my plate at? Now, how are we gonna do this? Just get a spoonful. You gotta go for that. Y'all hear that crispiness of the bread? Ooh wee. We'll just add a little bit to our plate. And so now we can see it. It looks a lot better. It kind of looks messy. I'm not even gonna lie. Look at that color contrast. You have the cream cheese, the blueberry jam. This is perfect. Now, the last thing we're gonna add, just to top it off, is just a little bit more of that jam. All right. And then honestly, at this point, we might as well add a little bit more powdered sugar while we're here. It's snowing. We have a finished plate that is beautiful. I love plating up food because that's my favorite part. But I'm gonna stop talking and let's get ready to eat. Without further ado, let's get this first bite. It is 12 o'clock and I have not eaten yet. I'm starving. Let's see, give me a little cream cheese. The perfect bite right here. It smells delicious. That's French toast for you. It doesn't get better than that. A classic breakfast thing. I can eat French toast every weekend and never get tired of it. This is just another thing I add to my arsenal now. It's super simple. You can prep this the night before, cook it the next day, and it was easy, 30, 45 minutes. It's cake, honestly. It doesn't get easier than this. Make this for yourself, make this for a brunch, make this for whoever, whenever. Do it, make it, eat it, enjoy it, love it. If you like what you see, guys, hit that subscribe button. I appreciate all the love and support as always. We going up, we running up. My second cook in the kitchen. I'm super excited, but I'll be seeing you guys next week.